Once again, our guest here on today's THV at 6:30 is Congressman Tim Griffin from Arkansas' 2nd Congressional District, a man who sleeps in his office in a sleeping bag to save money, and but you look terrific today.
Thank you. I didn't sleep in a sleeping bag last night.
Okay, I got you back home to talk about things like cuts.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before the weather segment. When you talk of cuts, which ones people in Arkansas want to know? What will affect me?
Sure. Well, as you know, we passed the spending bill for 2011, and that's what we were talking about earlier. And what we're now focused on is 2012 and beyond. 2012 and the next 10 years. We voted on a budget last week that deals with this massive $14 trillion and growing debt. And the goal is to get our arms around this so that we move toward a balanced budget, which is erasing the deficits, move toward a balanced budget. Because we can't start paying off the debt until we get to a balanced budget. The new budget that we're dealing with deals with everything. It deals with Medicare, it deals with Medicaid, it deals with spending throughout the government. And I think what you're going to hear a lot of is you're going to hear a lot of misinformation, and I believe that that is part of a fear campaign. And what I try to tell folks is the status quo bankrupts Medicare. This will be one of the big issues of the next 2 years. And what I tell people is, when I hear people say that this person or that person wants to destroy Medicare as we know it, I say hogwash. Medicare as we know it is going to destroy itself if we do nothing. If we do nothing, Medicare will be bankrupt. So what we are trying to do is figure out a way to reform it, leave it alone for those 55 and over, so there's no change. They've relied on this particular type of Medicare. For those under 55, Medicare is still going to be there. It's going to be as strong as ever. But it'll be different. It'll be like what federal employees have, where you choose your insurance and the government pays and you pay as a shared deal. It's not a voucher. You're hearing privatization. You're hearing vouchers. Nonsense. This is not privatization. It's like what members of Congress and federal employees have. And I've never heard our health care called privatized.
But now, Congressman, in fairness, you really had a problem with the word voucher in your speech on the floor of the House when you were talking about this plan. And yet, this is from a party that said and used the terms death panels, socialist, government-run health care. You're kind of playing two games here, aren't you?
Well, I'm not. I'm responsible for the words I use.
Okay.
And I'm not responsible for the words that other people use. I can only, account for me. And I try to be as accurate as possible. I don't take issue with voucher because it's inflammatory. A lot of inflammatory words are used in politics all the time. That's part of politics. I take issue with the word voucher because it's incorrect. It's inaccurate.
Congressman Griffin, again, thank you for coming in today's THV at 6:30.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And by the way, be watching for the Congressman on Face the Nation. This is a good warm-up back here.
On the same network.
That's right, CBS.
We appreciate you.
We've got sports coming up.